Good afternoon, happy Friday. I will start with today's report and then talk a little bit about outbreak investigations. Since yesterday, we are reporting 2,887 new cases of COVID-19 here in Illinois. We now have 73,760 total confirmed cases. Unfortunately, this includes 130 additional individuals with COVID-19 who have been reported to have lost their lives in the last 24 hours, and that brings a sobering total of 3,241. As of yesterday, 4,750 people were in the hospital with COVID-19, and of those, about 25%, 1,222 patients were in the ICU, and 727 patients were on ventilators. To date, almost 400,000 tests have been performed, and of those, 20,671 were reported in the last 14 hours, for a positivity rate of about 14%. We've been talking a lot about contact tracing and the importance of it as we move towards reopening, but I want to let everyone know that contact tracing is something that local health departments do almost every day. Whether it's a foodborne outbreak, a mumps outbreak, measles outbreaks you heard a lot about last year, or a COVID-19 outbreak. This important practice, as you've heard, involves interviewing the person who has become ill to learn places where they may have been, who they may have been in contact with. And then our public health officials reach out to people who have been exposed and identify to an individual that someone they may have been around is sick. This outreach to individuals occurs as soon as public health staff have the information so that people who were exposed can be monitored for symptoms and then can get care immediately if needed. Public health officials are bound by both state and federal laws that require us to maintain the confidentiality of individuals. Because of this, we may not always be able to release the information in the same way that people request it. For example, if there is a business, a smaller business with perhaps 15 employees, and it's in maybe a tiny town, providing specific details could lead to the identification of those individuals. Especially if they were hospitalized, it might be easy to narrow it down. It's a violation of laws that the public health systems operate by to reveal people's individual status. So we try to maintain confidentiality, observe HIPAA laws, but every situation is unique, and there may be instances where we need to release a little bit more information to protect the overall public's health. However, we always want to keep people's confidentiality in mind, and we take that very seriously, both for just the confidentiality stake and potentially for the stigmatization that when people are identified that they may undergo. Just as you all would want to have your private health information private, we want to protect the identification of others, especially those who are ill, who are fighting to recover from an illness. But I want to assure you that doesn't mean we're not taking every action to prevent more people from being exposed and potentially infected. We do make sure that our local health departments are investigating, identifying locations and other people that may have come into contact with the index case, and immediately are taking steps to protect the individuals. During this unprecedented time as we battle a worldwide pandemic caused by this novel virus that we're continuing to learn about, please know that your public health officials at the state, local, county, city level are sharing as much information with you as we possibly can to help keep you healthy and safe. Again, the timing, we're trying to get it out as quickly as possible, but please remember that your public health officials are busy trying to contain the outbreak, and then trying to sit down and put things into databases is after they've tried to do the important work of containing the outbreak. I want to finish by thanking Governor Pritzker for supporting our public health efforts as we continue to make sure that every corner of Illinois is being cared for in the best way that's possible. We must continue to take care of ourselves, our total health, body, mind, and spirit. And to all mothers and people who have served as mothers, and to people who will be able to either creatively or in person celebrate their mothers, I encourage you all to enjoy this Mother's Day weekend. And with that, I will turn it over to Governor Pritzker.